Hello and welcome to your Science News Bulletin.
All right, here's what we've got on tap for you today. We're diving into astrophysics and space exploration, then getting into the wild world of physics and quantum mechanics. After that, it's biomedicine and health, a checkup on our climate and environment, and finally, a look at what's new in tech and computing. Okay, let's kick things off with our first section, astrophysics and space exploration. So first up, get this. Astronomers using South Africa's amazing Meerkat radio telescope have just spotted the most distant and the most powerful cosmic laser we've ever seen. And we're not talking about something in our neighborhood. This signal started its journey a staggering 8 billion light years away. I mean, think about that for a second. We're looking at something that happened when the universe itself was less than half the age it is today. Just incredible. Yeah, the signal is so intense, so powerful, that scientists have had to give it a new name, a Gigamaser. Basically, what's happening is that hydroxyl molecules are getting all fired up in the middle of this massive galactic collision, and that energy creates this giant natural microwave laser in space. So you might be wondering, how on earth did we even see this thing from so far away? Well, it's thanks to a bit of cosmic luck. A completely different galaxy, one that's closer to us, just happened to pass in front of it. And its gravity was so immense that it literally bent space-time, acting like a giant magnifying glass. This effect, called gravitational lensing, focused the signal into what's known as an Einstein ring, and that made it just bright enough for our telescopes to catch it. What a discovery. All right, let's bring it back a little closer to home. We've got some good news from NASA about the Artemis 2 mission. You know, there was a helium leak on that huge Space Launch System rocket that was causing some headaches. Well, engineers have tracked down the problem, and it turns out it was just a single, tiny seal that had gotten dislodged inside a fitting. They've already fixed it, they've tested it, and the system's good to go. This means the crewed mission to fly around the moon is officially back on track for its April 2026 launch. Okay, so we've gone from massive rockets to the very fabric of reality itself. Let's move on to our next section, physics and quantum mechanics, where things are about to get a little weird. This is a big one. You know how for decades physicists have been pulling their hair out trying to connect Einstein's theory of gravity with quantum mechanics? Well, some folks think they've found a bridge. They've come up with a new equation for something they're calling a Q-desic. So think of it like this. Einstein's theory says an object will take the smoothest path through curved spacetime. But this new idea says, what if spacetime itself isn't perfectly smooth? What if, at the quantum level, it's constantly jiggling? That jiggle would change the path, and that's what this new Q-desic path describes. Now, around here, on our scale, you'd never notice this effect. It's tiny. But over huge cosmological distances, I'm talking a 1 with 21 zeros after it in meters, these quantum paths start to look very different from the classical ones. And why does that matter? Well, this could be the key to solving some major cosmic mysteries, like why galaxies are spinning way faster than our current physics says they should be. All right, next up is a really cool breakthrough in just being able to see what's going on at the quantum level. Scientists have basically created a super slow-motion movie of one of the fastest things that can happen. So what did they film? They actually recorded electron spins flipping inside a material. And the whole thing was over in just 140 times trillionths of a second. I mean, that's just mind-bogglingly fast. Being able to see this happen is a huge deal for developing the next generation of electronics. Hey, just a quick pause here. If you're enjoying this breakdown of the latest science news, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps us out and ensures you won't miss our next update. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the human body. Here are the latest innovations in biomedicine and health. This is a potentially huge discovery. Researchers think they've found a key molecular trigger for autism spectrum disorder. It's like a chain reaction, a domino effect. It starts with too much nitric oxide in the brain. That nitric oxide then attaches to a protective protein, TSC2, essentially flagging it for destruction. Once that protector is gone, another regulator, mTOR, just goes wild, which messes up how neurons work. Understanding this specific chain of events could be a complete game changer for developing really precise new treatments. Okay, this next one is really important. New research has finally found a clear biological reason why chronic pain can affect men and women differently. And it's not in our heads, it's in our immune system. What happens is, in males, testosterone helps trigger certain immune cells to calm pain down. But in females, that signal is weaker, and so the pain can last longer. This is huge because it gives doctors a real biological marker to look for and could lead to pain treatments that are actually designed specifically for men or for women. And check this out. It's a fantastic example of AI in medicine. There's a new AI system that can diagnose a rare hormone disorder called acromegaly. And the amazing part is how it does it. All it needs are photos of a patient's hands. That's it. This could be a breakthrough for diagnosing a disease that's notoriously tricky and slow to catch. Okay, for our next section, we're going to take a look at our planet with a checkup on the latest climate and environment news. So we've got 3 major findings here that together paint a pretty serious picture. First, it looks like we've been underestimating sea levels. A new analysis shows the baselines are off, which means about 132 million times more people are at risk from coastal flooding. Second, in our northern forests, wildfires are burning deeper than we thought, releasing ancient carbon from the soil that our current climate models don't even account for. And third, the Swiss Alps lost an incredible 3% of their total glacier ice in just the last 12 months. And as we work on those huge global challenges, our technology keeps racing forward. So for our last section, let's look at what's new in technology and computing. We've got 2 quick but really interesting updates. First, some physicists have created what they're calling a periodic table for AI. It's basically a new mathematical system that organizes all the different AI methods based on how they compress data, which could make building new AIs much less of a trial and error process. And at the other end of the tech world, researchers have built the world's smallest OLED pixel. It's only 300 nanometers across, which is a massive step towards creating displays with resolutions we can barely even imagine right now. And that wraps up our Science News Bulletin for today.
We'll have another update for you in 24 hours.